part of the 4284th Quartermaster Railhead Company, 9th Division, U.S. Army. In talking with George Kozu, he said his father was a successful businessman in Seattle, owning a grocery store and fruit and vegetable delivery trucking service. He admits he had a very comfortable and enjoyable childhood, but after Japan attacked America, life soon took a drastic about-face. Like Japanese families along the West Coast, the Kozus found themselves scrambling to sell what possessions they could, usually for pennies on the dollar. Many unsold items were given away or left for the scavengers. Soon, George's family would be held in a hastily set up assembly center at the Puyallup Fairgrounds, which was euphemistically called Camp Harmony. This was also a horse racing track, and some of the new Japanese inhabitants were quartered where the horses lived, and the stench left no doubt about that. Once the Idaho-based WRA camp, Minidoka, was constructed, the Kozus were again transported under military guard to this desolate location. The inhospitable conditions included dust storms and temperatures raising from well below zero during winter to over 100 degrees in the summer. When a program was set up allowing sponsored students or workers who were offered employment the opportunity to apply to leave, many went east. Seabrook Farms in New Jersey had actively recruited Japanese workers to meet their labor production demands at a major supplier of food to the military during the war. At only 17, George and two friends left for New York City, where the plan was to work and take night classes to continue their education. But long work hours took a toll and classes weren't completed. On his 18th birthday, he reported to the draft board saying, "I decided to join the Army, and then and there, since I was not getting anywhere," but they told him he would have to wait to be called. Two of George's sisters were living in Chicago, so he joined them. It was May 1945 when he finally received a notice to report to duty, the same month that Germany surrendered. After training, George was sent to Europe, landing at Le Havre, France, noting the city was a disaster, with many buildings being flattened. The residents looked lost and forlorn. He was posted in Augsburg, Germany, where he was attached to the 4284th Quartermaster Railhead Company, whose job it was to distribute food and supplies to all the U.S. military installations in the region and even to the Red Cross. Learning to drive a truck in Minidoka was a skill that now benefited him in the Army, where he drove a 6x6, a truck with 3 sets of air tires on either side, delivering supplies and equipment to cities like Nuremberg, Heidelberg, and Munich. During one trip to Munich, he arrived at the main camp of Dachau, the location of the infamous shower gas chambers and the furnaces where the Nazis tried to destroy all traces of their horrendous crimes against Jews and other minorities who were deemed inferior to the master race. George saw a huge hill of ash, which he was told all that remained of bodies thrown into the furnaces. It was the most disgusting and gruesome thing to hear and see the actual facility, George said, recalling that day. In hearing the stories of valor and victory, George admitted, "I was disappointed that I was too late to get in the Army and join the 442nd during their battles in Italy and France." Some of his friends later shared their stories of combat, but one incident stuck with him. His friend told him about a Nisei who was on patrol when a Nazi attacked, knocked him over, and was on top of him. The Nisei managed to get a knife from his pocket and killed the German, but the incident stayed with him as what we now refer to as PTSD, and he was later committed to a mental institution. As an afterthought, George stated, "I feel very lucky that the war ended and we're only involved as occupation troops."